Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
Okay, now the explosion thing. After the explosion took place, well, everyone had an opinion. Everyone said something. Some people said, oh shit, Saudi planned the attack, MBZ. Some people said, see, Tehran did it. Some people said, see, UAE orchestrated. Yeah, faked. That's a better word for pronunciation. Faked this so that they can buy more weapons from USA. And then obviously some people said, listen, it's just a bloody explosion. What the fuck you're making all this new stories and nonsense? Stop faking it. And then there were some other people who said the Houthi rebels. Then there are some other people who just said it's just a normal. I don't know, from when did explosions become normal? Okay, so you had various people say various things. To my surprise, people were more angry with me than with anything else. And I got comments which said that, what? Why are you spreading fear? Why are you spreading fake news? Arey Baba, explosion took place. Okay, so these are the possibilities. In my video, I didn't say, yes, I have evidence to prove that ABCD made the explosion. I said there's a possibility. Okay, it can be Houthi rebels, it can be Saudi, it can be an accident. So I give you. See, like they say, there is no, there's no smoke without fire. Nice saying. In the same way, for me, what I give you my opinion. Okay, I'll tell you what the Marathi said. I give my opinion because you have MBZ and MBS, not them specifically. You had UAE disagree with Saudi openly for the first time in OPEC. Openly. Like normally they used to disagree at the side, like, quietly. But this time they are disagreeing. Just imagine, let's say, you have somebody who you always help, a friend. You always give him money. You always give him support. And he's your best friend. And you both support each other no matter what. One fine day, in a party, when you are arguing with somebody else, normally he supports you, but this time he turns around and says, no, you're wrong. And he says it publicly. And I don't agree with him. I support you. You'll be like, bastard, I has to support you and help you all the while. Today you're backstabbing me. Why the fuck are you acting like, an asshole? I'll talk to him privately and tell him, like, why are you acting like an asshole? I have to support you all the while. You fucking kiss my ass. And today you're acting like a hero after you made new friends from Israel and USA. I'm giving you a normal human response. So in the same way, this would have been the normal thinking pattern. All the years you stood by me, we went to wars together, and instead of supporting during tough times, the COVID, now you're turning your back. So this was my speculation, this was my analysis. Now, what did the Emiratis say? I totally had 3 Emiratis who I spoke to. Don't worry, they are not FBI, CIA and whatever, but they are in good places and they give me legit opinions. Now all three different. One guy, he said, Loy, please stop this kind of speculative news. Openly he told me, just stop it, because you don't know, nobody knows. So fine, it was his opinion. He was a little pissed off with me. Okay, I left it. Second guy's opinion is it's mostly an accident. It's not a sabotage. It's mostly an accident. Okay, and it can happen. But now I asked him, just imagine if it happened on the opening day of Expo 2020, would you have said the same thing? He said, no. It happened on the opening day of Expo, we would all be like, shit, you know, like look at the timing. But then again, remember, sometimes it can be an accident, because I want you to Google search Ambassador Hotel catches fire. Okay, the funny thing is, this hotel caught fire exactly on New Year's, like few hours before celebrating New Year. The Ambassador Hotel caught fire. Oh fuck, what a spectacle. Like imagine you have the Burj Khalifa where you have to celebrate the New Year, and people have paid lots of money, and millions of people around the world are watching Burj Khalifa, and a fire takes place exactly few hours before. So was that a terrorist act or was that a accident? So like that, there's a possibility this is an accident. And I said, fine, it is. The third Emirati who I spoke to, he said, Loy, I have my suspicions. He's saying maybe. It's not, it's more like trying to give a warning message. Now, who he gave his own speculations, who can be anyone, you know. And by the way, in Emirates leaks, they had stated that 2 arrests have been made. One is an Israeli guy, one is, I don't know, some other whatever. But this is what Emirates leaks. But then again, Emirates leaks only speaks negative about UAE, so I was like, okay, until we find evidence. So overall, you know, what I'm trying to tell you is, there are so many options. There are so many thoughts. Now, as far as fake news, see, listen, you know, I know, UAE is not going to tell you everything, okay? Like for example, Sheikh Mohammed and his daughter, the problem that took place. Did any of the UAE media houses cover it? If you believe that UAE talks about everything, does it talk about Ahmed Mansouri who's jailed? Does it talk about the prostitution that is going on in UAE? Does it talk about Sonapur? No, it doesn't talk. UAE, like every other country that has a monarch, you know, the news or the material has to follow certain rules and guidelines which show the country in a positive light. It's not just UAE, it's so many countries. And in a way it's good, because if you had a crazy ass democratic setup like India or USA, every news would give its own story, and then you wouldn't know who to trust, who to believe. Okay, so I'm not saying this format is much better than democracy, but at least it's not so confusing. And Arab countries, especially Muslim countries, democracy doesn't work. I've told you this before, I'm telling you again, democracy in Arab countries doesn't work. So overall, but here's one last thing before we conclude this. This is the part that is surprising me, is how did these guys get the video? Like these guys were filming, how did they capture that exact moment? I'm not saying that they had something planned, like, fuck you, you're taking the video at the exact moment. Was there like rumblings or noise before? That was one thing. The other thing is, they cleaned up and they sorted it out so quickly, which is good. There were no casualties, which is good. But I know, man, it's so funny, you know, the whole thing. But I can tell you one thing for sure, whether it's an accident, whether it was deliberate, now security will be beefed up. Why? Expo 2020 is coming, boss. Expo 2020. And see now what has happened to the Olympics in Tokyo. Just imagine having an Expo 2020 with no visitors. Is it possible? See, possibilities are endless. But even if WHO makes a mandate, no, you should not have any visitors, they will continue. They will bribe anybody, because without visitors, Expo 2020 is a flop. This Olympics also is actually a disaster. This is the worst Olympics in the history of mankind. No audience. I mean, and given this nonsense of this new Delta variant, and bullshit here. Every variant is worse than the previous variant. The next variant will be L variant. Lauda. Loy variant. Or the new F variant. Fuck you variant. You know. Every variant is even worse. But yeah, even if they put the lockdown, Australia is thinking about it. Britain is saying we'll open, but now they are afraid. Now certain parts, Indonesia is moving lockdown. This nonsense. It's crazy. But I'll tell you, as long as these new variants keep coming, it's really going to impact. It's going to change our lifestyle forever, man. At least for the next 5 to 10 years. It's crazy, I'll tell you that. Anyway, these were my views. Let me know what are your views. I'm always open to your good, bad, ugly comments. Feel free. And yeah, if you do have any exclusive pictures, I got some, but I didn't want to share again. And one of them who's working there, he sent it to me. And he said, just don't publish this. I said, fine. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Keep me updated. Let me know what you think. It's me signing off. Chalo, yalla. Guys, take care. Bye.